Coach, we did it! Coach, we did it!
Okay. Good job.
Nice game. Can I view your replay in the League client? I've never actually tried before. Here, I'm gonna add you on League.
Oh, wait, you can do that?
Okay, so in general, one thing that you really need to start doing is using your F keys and looking at your laners. Actually, let's go even one step behind that. You need to look at your minimap while you're clearing your camps. Then you can identify which lanes are fighting and trading heavily and which lanes look passive. If you keep seeing your teammates running at the other guy and you look at their thingy in the corner and their HP is dropping, then you can identify they're fighting really aggressively in the lane and that you should look to be there sooner rather than later, potentially. Because right now what you're doing is you're not even noticing when your lanes are volatile. So a volatile lane would be when they're trading really heavily, like when was the remember the one at top where you were gonna go clear?
Yeah, I remember.
You were gonna go clear, and then I said no, go top. I think it was right here.
Oh yeah, you were saying hey.
Yeah, so if you look at top here, which you didn't, these guys are fighting to the death. I'm looking at the minimap. I see Volibear blink, which means he used flash. I hear Kled ulti go off. And so these guys are fighting like crazy. So that's something you need to, first of all, acknowledge or notice in the game as it's happening. And then you need to decide how you want to react to it. Is it a case where I can be there first? Like I should race over there and try and influence the situation? Or is their jungler going to be there first and I can't react? So I'm just going to do my thing? Or, but the first step is in realizing that it's even happening. So that's where I think looking at your minimap while you're clearing your camps is really important. Or making a habit of just using your F keys to just scan through your lanes. I know you said it's hard for you to click on your F keys because it's far away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that you have to do. Or get a mouse where you can just cycle through all the F keys. Right?
Yeah, I did not notice any of that.
Okay. So yeah, mouse binds could work, or rebind them to keys that you don't use. But it's really important, especially as jungler, to identify who's fighting in lanes. Because that's where you can gank or get a kill and start snowballing the game. Okay, I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to go through stuff I noticed, or like important stuff that I feel like is important to talk about. Okay, so I want to talk about this fight. Okay. So you're in here.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, are you noticing this MF who looks like a really juicy target?
Yeah. That's why I'm like looking at her through the walls, peering over the log.
Uh-huh. And then this guy showed, and then your attention switches to this guy, right? So that's fine.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, a cat. And I R to avoid his ultimate, which I thought was pretty sick, And then I'm getting chased. And then I dodge the Seraphine ult. And then I Q. And I Q. And I flash. And I Q. And I'm out of there.
Okay. So the way I want you to think about this is, okay, step one, Zyra missed her CC ability.
Yeah, she's trash, I agree.
Okay. So why do you W here?
Because I'm about to knock up this Rengar who's trying to get away in a 2v1. Knock him up and GG's.
Okay. But I want you to consider what they can do to avoid that. Because this is like a really key ability, right? If it hits, it's really good. And if it misses, it's really bad, generally, right?
Yeah.
Rengar can just jump out of the bush and dodge.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
usually you want to do...
Yeah, okay, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, usually you want to do the course of action that has like the least chance of backfiring, or like take the least risk when you're fighting. So here, Rengar can jump to Zyra and just dodge your W. So what I would do here is not even cast it, I would just hold it. If I want to go on this guy, just walk on him and Q him. And hold your W till after he jumps. But it's like, because the cooldown is down now, then this fight starts to look really good for them. Like, imagine you just held your W here, and then Rengar jumps, and then you W him. then that's much more favorable, right? Like maybe you can even one-shot this guy. So trying to be more thoughtful of like how they can avoid your ability, when to cast it at the right time, I think is really important. And then again, here,
Mm-hmm.
ulting is not a good idea. I would say usually you want to ult when you're like 1 HP. Here you need to identify this is already over and just E out and walk away. This got really hairy because you ulted. And then again, you're just not using your Q to avoid stuff. I don't even know if you realize you had Q here, or if there's an ASOL ult flying on your screen. I'm not sure if your level of awareness here.
I've never played against ASO.
Oh, you've never played against ASOL? This is like a giant Cho'Gath Q, pretty much.
Oh, okay, okay.
So this is something you could have dodged with Q.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed throughout the game, you're really not using your Q to dodge stuff or like run away.
Yeah,
There's
my
another
cue is
moment
to
later where you're
go
just like,
in, you know.
no.
It
It's
deals
also to get
damage.
out too. It's also just like mobility.
Get out.
Okay, moving on.
Did you timestamp
Okay.
these moments?
Yeah. 1730, map awareness was really bad here. You were not looking at your screen here. Because anyone who was looking at their minimap here would have seen this guy. It's criminal this guy lived.
I just
So,
thought he
again,
had
in general-
it.
No, you didn't even look here. I saw
Okay,
your
yeah.
perspective of it. You didn't even notice until I said, "Do you see what's happening here?"
Okay, yeah, you got me.
So, you know, you could have already been like right here, cutting this guy off. Another kill in your pocket. I mean, the way to win these games is to legit like these guys are just feeding. You just need to see the opportunities. And that starts with awareness. But now you moved like 10 seconds late and this guy actually just got out. So that could have been a free kill. Okay, what are we doing here?
Okay. He's okay. I'll be honest. I thought he was AFK. He just stood still.
You thought he was AFK.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he stood still for 2 seconds, man. Watch him. Watch the replay. Look, he gets there, and what's he doing? He's doing a little dance. I thought he was taunting.
Okay. I think you don't know the range of your W very well either. It's not very long. It's pretty short. So one thing you could do here is, again, use your Q as mobility and then knock him up.
Or if I
Ideally,
knock
your
him
E is
up,
up, but
and,
it's not.
and then I can Q in for damage. You know, I feel bad if I Q in and I don't do the
No,
damage.
this is not an RPG game. Is if you land the knock up, then Zyra can chain CC with her abilities, and Zeri will follow up as well. It's not just you in a vacuum. It's you and the Asol here and the Seraphine here and the Zyra Zeri here who are in range to follow up. So yeah, sometimes you need to get max damage off, otherwise the play won't happen. Sometimes all you have to do is land the one key ability to make a winning situation.
Okay.
In general, I think this will rarely work. You just walk out of a bush and press W as Kane. Especially as Red Kane, because your W range is so short. In general, I think thinking more about what you're going to do next after you're done doing what you're doing right now is a great way to think about the flow of the game. Like, oh, once I'm done clearing this camp, I'm going to go to this area of the map. I'm going to pressure this area of the map. I'm going to go play off this laner. I feel like right now you're just kind of very instinctively doing random shit. You're just like, you know, you're just clearing your camps and you're like, oh, look, there's an MF. Let me go kill him. And then, you know, something else will happen. But you want to have like a loose structure of like, well, I'm going to clear these camps. And then when I'm done clearing these camps, I'll look at MF. You kind of want to have that frame of mind for the whole game. I noticed sometimes you had a good plan of what to do next. Sometimes you didn't. Okay, so the game state here, I think you guys just wiped them and took Otacon?
Wiped them at Dragon into Otacon.
Okay, yeah.
Now here, you know,
I want you to walk me through what you just did here.
Oh, I don't want. I want to make sure we have river control, you know, because I'm about to go up their assholes from the sidelines.
Okay, this is like a terrible spot for a pink ward. Just put it in the bush next time.
Okay.
And I think you were really tunneled on what was happening here, but this isn't really a scenario where Red Kane can do much. you should be looking especially at side lanes a lot more. Because here it's just like, you've wasted almost a full minute. Consider how incredibly strong you are too. You're like really spiked. You're 6'2", 2.5 items right now. And with this really strong timing, all you've done is you put a pink ward down here. You didn't even do your raptors, and you've just been waddling back and forth here for a full minute. So that's really inefficient play. And I think if you had better awareness of what to do here, you would have been pressuring like this side more. Like pinging the Acel as a potential target, because he's the one that's completely isolated. Like here, they're clumped as 3.
Yeah.
Unless you have a strong plan to like dive this somehow.
Yeah, I thought we can hit the tower and we can just go the fuck in, Because I'm kind of someone who likes to go the fuck in. I missed my W, yes I know.
Uh-huh.
And I died, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, here. I could tell you wanted to do crab, and then Kled ulted, and then you reacted. And that was a good hover. That was good.
Thank you.
I wasn't sure if you were even going to react here, or notice that Kled ulted. But this was a good hover, even if the guy immediately got one shot. This is just like a good habit. And this was all good. Oh, here's like another time where you just have everything up and you just tank the full MF ult. So you lost like your entire HP bar instead of just pressing Q. So definitely think more about using your Q to just get out of poop. Like you play WoW, right? Like use your mobility to get out of the poop.
Are you familiar with those DPS players that save their mobility if the mobility deals damage to try and maximize a little more damage? And
It's like a 3-second cooldown. Just use it. I don't care. Just use it.
Okay.
So here, good awareness to turn on the Acel. I would have even flashed for this. It was so close, and this is such a priority target. This is a game-winning target. 650 bounty. Their mid laner that hasn't died once this game. This was really close to not converting. I would have even flashed for this. Because it's such a high priority kill. But it worked out. And one thing to always think about after the situation resolves. So now the situation is fully resolved. You want to think about what you can get. So every time a play finishes, you want to think about what objectives can we take off of this. So here you went for bot tier 2. That was really nice. Nice play. You can dive with volley. He just disables the turret. And you should also think about what camps can you deny. Oh, I think this happened even earlier. It was after you did Drake. I think after Drake, you just thought about doing all your camps.
Yeah.
But at this stage, counter jungling is so effective because the camps actually give a lot of gold and EXP. And you'll just end up like one level ahead if you can just counter jungle one quadrant of his jungle. And this again ties back to awareness of the minimap. You saw his blue spawning. Or the information is there that his blue is spawning. You just need to take a look at the minimap. And then you can think about, oh, I can take these 2 camps. And that puts him pretty far behind. And that puts me ahead. Here at 30, I like this fight. And you identified correctly why this is a good fight to take. These guys show themselves just pushing down mid. So it's good to just take a 3v3 on bot side. That's like a way more likely chance to make a winning play happen is something like Kayn than if they're just clumped 5v5 with Seraphine. So this was good. So generally, like identifying a good situation like this and trying to take the maximum is really important. Like identifying a situation like this in the game where you see, oh, it would be really good to fight here, so let's play really aggressively here, is something that I think that's missing from your play right now. But here you did it really well. And you guys end up, they just got Baron and they had the momentum, but you end up wiping them here, taking Drake, and then the game is like pretty favorable after this. This was just like, again, bad awareness. I think you're just basing here. I'm not sure what you're thinking about. But, I literally see your volley bear engage on Rengar, and I don't think you noticed.
Nah, I was thinking about all the items I was going to buy with my 2k gold.
Uh-huh. And what he's doing is bad, but if you're aware of this, you can identify, this is bad, let me ping back. So maybe like Zeri doesn't get baited to go in here, or, like maybe it can make the difference, just spam pinging back here, because this is a really bad play to go for. They all respawn and they're coming fresh off base and you guys have a lot of gold. Okay, nice try here. Nice try here on the steal.
Thanks.
When you go in for smite steal, you want to think about how you can sync the smite with your own burst. I think for Kayn, that's your Q. I think your Q plus smite probably deals like, I don't know, roughly 1600 damage Could be a little more. So you want to try and flip the smite at that timing. So you want to be in the pit already when it's like starting to get low. So like now you got to be in the pit already. This was just a little slow, but that's okay. Nice try. And then here, I think you just panicked. Like you don't really have to be panicky when you're this fed and when you're this strong. You can stay in the fight, get to 1 HP, ulti out, and come out really healthy. Here it was like a big shame that you just flashed out. When you could have just been fighting this guy, you probably would have just killed this guy, honestly. If you didn't flash out. I mean, you have W, Q's about to come up, R's about to be up, and you know, your Pantheon just ulted in. So this could have been a lot better. I think you could have played a lot more aggressively here. If you're gonna play more Kayn, I think yes, playing with a lot more confidence here. I think you were playing a little passively until I told you to just like grow a pair and play aggressively here, and then you know random shit happens. They just randomly clut ult you. You take some vision, and then that ends up really hurting them for the very final fight of the game. So definitely seeing what you can get away with when you're ahead, when you're really strong. I mean, did you feel strong at this point in the game? Do you realize how ahead you are?
No, I didn't. I don't have a lot of confidence in myself, especially knowing you're watching, because I feel like if I did something wrong, you would just note it down and we would be talking about it for 10 minutes.
No,
So
I mean,
I was just so afraid of making a mistake. And that in itself was the mistake. It's ironic in some way.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. Like, I make mistakes all the time. Every single day, I queue up, I go like, wow, I'm like fucking bad at this game. Like, I did something really bad. But like, that's okay. It's just a game. And plus, you're just trying to improve anyway. Okay, but overall, good stuff. Go again.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, I think the big things, the huge things, the number one thing is look at the minimap while you're clearing your camp. So step one is the awareness.
In your list of timestamps, you have a list of times where I did a good job.
I wrote down 21 good. You did good at 21 minutes in the game. Hello?